So the Raiders just signed Yo, what is up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Small Raider back at it again with yet another video. If this is the very first time you guys are coming across the channel and you love daily Raider content, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. But breaking news today, the Raiders finally make a move in free agency after taking a whole damn day off, which I guess is pretty good. But, you know, with that said, we finally addressed the running back position. And no, we didn't get J.K. Dobbins. No, we didn't get A.J. Dillon. No, we didn't get Rico Dowdle. We got someone even better. According to Jordan Schultz, he broke the news today saying that the Raiders are signing former Dolphins Pro Bowl running back Raheem Mostert to a one-year contract. The 10-year veteran had 1,012 rushing yards and a league-leading 21 total touchdowns in 2023. A big addition for Las Vegas's offense. Mostert reunites with Chip Kelly on a deal negotiated by Equity Sports and CEO Chris Kupp. And not too long after that, Vic Tafur dropped the details on the contract. The Raiders will be signing him to a one-year, $2.1 million deal, which I would say is a really, really good deal for the Raiders. And hey, Pete Carroll and John Spytek does it again, man. They signed a player to a value deal. It seems like we're getting everybody on a coupon deal. We're getting a really good discount on a lot of these players, and it's a player that can come in and provide depth. I think that's all we've been doing so far is providing depth at every position. We haven't went out there and signed a superstar, but we've brought in a lot of players that can come in and Pete can hopefully revitalize their careers or even just get the most out of them to compete on the team. One thing I can say is that the Raiders are making the most out of the cap space that they got left, which I have no problem with. The former undrafted free agent and 2025, Mostert didn't really settle in the NFL until he went to San Francisco in 2016, playing under now OC for the Raiders, Chip Kelly. In 2023, like stated before, Mostert broke out having a Pro Bowl season playing in Miami, rushing for 1,012 yards and leading the league with 18 touchdowns and 21 total touchdowns in that season. Since then, in 2024, he had a down year, which led to him getting released by the Miami Dolphins. Now, Mostert joins a Raiders team in need of a running back. Now, it is unclear if the Raiders are going to view him as a RB1, which I highly doubt, but he does provide a huge lift in a position of need for the Raiders and provides that veteran depth. Mostert is known for his speed, his versatility in the backfield, and even his familiarity in Chip Kelly's offense. Plus, if he's able to stay healthy, which he's dealt with a lot of injury issues in the past couple of years in his career, but if he's able to stay healthy, I think that this would be a solid signing, solid underrated signing for the Raiders, especially for the price that we paid him. I think it was a great signing overall. Now, just because I'm saying it's a great signing doesn't mean that I'm viewing him as a number one running back, but I believe that he was better than any running back that we had last season. And as long as the Raiders do move forward and don't expect him to be that RB1, if we go out and pair him up with a guy in the draft, if we could go out and get maybe an Ashton Jency, Devin Neal, maybe go get Trayvon Henderson or even Judkins or Marion Hampton. If you pair him up with any of these other guys, I think that this will be a good signing. Plus, we still got Sincere McCormick on the roster right now. Who knows what will happen to Zamir White? There are reports that the Raiders are going to be moving on from him, which I think that would be the right decision for this team. But overall, I do like this signing. I know there's going to be a lot of fans out there complaining about the move, not liking the move because he's a little bit old, 33 years old. Honestly, just chill, man. Not every single signing we're going to love. And I know we're not going to sign all the big names out there, but I'm totally fine with this move because if you look at it as a depth signing, as a veteran depth piece to this team, then you wouldn't be too mad about it, especially for the price that we paid him. I think the Raiders did a solid job. But what are your thoughts, Raider Nation? What do you think about the recent signing of Raheem Mostert to the team? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, in some other news, the Raiders have officially signed Geno Smith. They put pen to paper. He finally got into the building, which is good news for the team. As the days continue to go on and on and on, I'm starting to like this move a lot more. Looking at free agency and how the quarterback market has been going, it's been a crazy ride. You see Aaron Rodgers not making any decision yet, and the Steelers are still waiting, the Giants are still waiting. Heck, the Browns are even thinking about going out and getting a quarterback. A lot of these teams, even the Vikings, and just to see all those teams just sit there and wait and figure out what they're gonna do makes me appreciate this move a lot more. The fact that the Raiders, ahead of free agency, went out and got their guy. They traded for the guy that they wanted, and if Geno Smith was in free agency right now, I think that he'd be right alongside of Sam Darnold as one of the top quarterbacks in free agency. And the fact that we got him for a 3rd round pick is a good thing for the Raiders. And it gives the Raiders a lot of flexibility right now in free agency, because we didn't have to go out and worry about a quarterback. We got that figured out. You look at last season, the Raiders kind of got behind the ball. We didn't really sign nobody. We really didn't go trade for anybody. And after the draft, when we didn't address the quarterback position, the Raiders were basically. But I know that the vibes around the team and the organization is at an all-time high. I know Geno Smith is excited to reunite with Pete Carroll. And if there's anybody that I feel more confident coaching up Geno Smith, it's Pete Carroll. So I'm fine with that. Now, another quarterback that praised the Raiders for this move was Dan Orlovsky.
I like Geno in Las Vegas. Brock Bowers really good. I think Las Vegas has okay receivers. Like, I'm a big Jacoby Myers guy, but they're going to have to add some pieces as well. Offensive line is a little bit better than I think the play at quarterback made you think. Geno was fantastic last year with the bad offensive line, but they need to add some pieces. I love the fact that he's with Chip Kelly. They need another starting offensive lineman or two, but I think Geno gives this team the chance to just compete in games on a week-to-week basis for now. Just because he's there doesn't mean they shouldn't draft a quarterback if they like one in the 1st round.
And I totally agree with him. I feel like the offensive line last year wasn't so bad. And if we add another piece or two to this offensive line, I think the Raiders should be fine, especially if we go in the draft or even find some free agents out there. We don't have to address the offensive line in the 1st round, but with the players that we have right now, I think we should be good. And maybe the offensive line was bad last year because the quarterbacks that we had. Who knows? But another point that Dan Orlovsky kind of brought up, which I agree with, is that I feel like the Raiders, if there is a chance to get the quarterback that they want in the 1st round, they should still draft a quarterback in the 1st round at that pick 6 position. And Shedeur Sanders seems like a guy that could highly fall down in a draft. And if he's sitting there at number 6, I'm running to the podium and I'm selecting him. No matter what anybody has to say about Shedeur Sanders, I still feel like he can be a solid quarterback in the NFL, especially if you bring him in to be coached and mentored under Geno Smith and even being coached up by Pete Carroll in Las Vegas. I think that this would be a perfect pick for the Raiders. If Cam Ward is there, then okay, but I doubt that he'll be there. And I know that there's a lot of people worried and saying that, oh, Shedeur Sanders might not want to be sitting for a year or two. And you might have a point, but that's where I feel like Pete Carroll, as the vet that he is, as a guy that's a player's coach, he's always going to put the best player on the field. And if you bring in a guy like Shedeur Sanders to compete with Geno Smith in the offseason, and if Shedeur Sanders is able to look better in the offseason and prove that he could be the starting quarterback year 1, then I think that's a win for the Raiders. You put Shedeur Sanders out there to play this season, and having Geno Smith as a backup, I think wouldn't be bad at all. You look at Seattle's history with Pete Carroll. Remember when they signed Matt Flynn to a huge contract to be the starting quarterback? Then they drafted a guy in Russell Wilson, who eventually won the position and was the starting quarterback ever since then. This could be the same situation. So if the Raiders could get their guy at number 6, I'd be totally fine with that. Now, another thing that I seen yesterday was a story that Geno posted, and Stephon Diggs was there, as well as a lot of other players. But a lot of people were trying to piece together, oh, Geno Smith wants Stephon Diggs over here in Las Vegas. And I'm here to say, chill. It was a whole group of players over there that were working out. And at first I thought the same thing, and I went to go look, and I was like, everybody's kind of taking this out of context. It doesn't mean anything. Would I mind Stephon Diggs on the Raiders? No, I honestly wouldn't even want him over here because of all the drama that he would bring, but he's still considered a solid wide receiver in this league and could be a number 1 for the Raiders if he was to come over here. If I had to make the choice, I wouldn't want Stephon Diggs, but that's just me. I know there's another wide receiver out there that the Raiders are starting to clamor to, and that is Cooper Kupp. Now, the Rams officially released Cooper Kupp, meaning that any team can go out and sign him, and knowing that the Raiders need a wide receiver, could Cooper Kupp be a name on the list that the Raiders could bring in? According to Diana Rossini, she reported that, yeah, there are a lot of teams interested in him. I like looking at teams that are probably trying to push here to make a run for a place for him to land. I also know Tom Brady loves Cooper Kupp. I'm interested to see if the Raiders are going to try to make a push here. I just don't know if they're willing to go to that pay point for Cooper. My honest opinions on Cooper Kupp possibly coming to Las Vegas is no. I wouldn't want him over here. Hell of a talent. Done great things with the Rams and has been one of the greatest wide receivers in the history of the NFL. But this would be somewhat of a Jordy Nelson situation. That's how I look at this whole thing. Jordy Nelson signing with the Raiders at the end of his career doesn't really have much left. Yes, he could be a capable wide receiver. Yes, he could come over here and at least be a wide receiver 2, 3 maybe. But at that point, I'm okay. I'd rather go draft a guy. I'd rather go get another wide receiver in free agency. You still got a guy like Amari Cooper out there. Heck, I still even take Tyler Lockett over him, even at this point of his career. But what do you guys think, Raider Nation? What are your thoughts on Cooper Kupp? Would you guys want him to come to the Las Vegas Raiders? If so, let me know down in the comments below. I don't want to take up any more of you guys' time. If you guys do enjoy the video, like I said before, hit that like button. It does a lot for this channel. It only takes a little bit of your time. Until the next video, this your boy, some more Raider, and your boy is... yeah.